Hey everybody, and welcome to On the Sidelines with Hagan and Hunter. I'm Seth Hagan.
I'm Hunter Price.
And we are just chilling on another Monday night, the very last Monday night that we will have without some form of football being played. Ole Miss and Florida State will kick off next Monday, but that will be the last big matchup of what will have been just a disgusting amount of fantastic matchups for week one. College football just really hit the nail on the head, and man, I cannot wait to get the ball rolling. Now, there was a game that happened a few days ago. Did you happen to catch Hawaii and Cal battle it out?
I caught one quarter of the game.
Yeah.
I
just kind of checked in to see what it was.
I felt like I was watching a glorified A-Day.
Right. I
Did
mean,
you
it was
not?
just it was a ton of scoring.
Oh my gosh.
A ton of it, man. 28 points in the first quarter alone. Really, really surprising.
I couldn't watch any more of it. Like it was rough.
Yeah, it was bad defense. It's very bad.
We're not. That does not count as the start of college football. I'm just gonna go and tell you right now.
That can't be it, right?
That's not it.
That can't be it.
I'm taking North Dakota State and Charleston Southern over that.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, a lot of big things happening this week. It was a lot of fun, but a few of the stories got a little bit more attention than most. Colin Kaepernick grabbing headlines and grabbing thank you notes from Ryan Lochte to basically tell him, like, thank you, Colin, thank you. I'm no longer that most hated man in America. Thank you so much for taking all the heat off me. It was very, very interesting. I'll say this. I understand where Colin Kaepernick is coming from. But the way you're going about it just makes people hate you more. It exponentially just piles negativity on your message. And I can get with what you're trying to say, but, dude, I mean, you got to pick a better way to do it. I mean, just about everybody's coming out against it. Even Colin Kaepernick's former coach, Jim Harbaugh, said that he could not respect the way that he's going about this. And I have to agree. I think it's ridiculous.
I think it's ridiculous. It's kind of like he went about getting his information from Facebook and just what he saw in statuses. Like,
just looked at a couple memes.
It's like,
press.
I'm not going to do research on this. Oh, I got a couple of memes. Here's some Facebook. Oh, my gosh, this is really happening. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit down during the national anthem, and that's going to show everybody.
Some players have said that they will also start sitting down. It's like, well, guys, it's a free country. So, ironically, I mean, you can do whatever you want.
That's what makes America great.
And yeah, exactly. We all have differing opinions, and we can respect them. But, I mean, it always seems nicer when somebody can, I don't know, put a little bit more thought into it. It just seems like this was ill-conceived. And it doesn't hurt that this guy has been playing like straight garbage. And it seems like he now wants a little attention on himself now that he's losing his status as a top quarterback. But, I mean, the guy's already made his money, right? He already signed up.
Oh, 61 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
He's fine. And it's like he quit after he got the 61. He's like, I got my money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now I'm going to look like a crackhead. Like, have you seen how skinny the dude looks?
Yeah. He's not going to get any he won't be getting any concussions with that hair. That is like a Troy Polamalu almost type fro. Like, he is growing the
Who cares,
massive
man?
fro.
Why are we talking about this dude,
I don't
man?
know.
Let's move
We're
on.
not-
We got college football coming up. Let's talk college football. Why are we talking about Kaepernick?
But not
Forget
until
Kaepernick.
we talk about another huge storyline. Before we get to the bigger stuff, we got plenty of time.
Oh, what else?
I want to talk about Tony Romo and his broken body.
Romo.
He's like Mr. Potato Head.
We
Like,
talking about-
pieces are falling off this guy as we speak. I mean, this guy is disintegrating in front of us.
We talking about no Romo?
Yes.
We talking about Romo.
Dolo Solo Romo.
Man. Romo.
I just feel so bad for him. I don't know why you play him against Seattle. I mean, it seems like they're just trying to kill somebody every time they play him. But I don't know. Can Dak make this happen? Are there enough pieces around him to make this work?
Oh, there's definitely enough pieces around him.
There are a
and
lot.
For people saying that he can't get it done, go check out what Russell Wilson did his rookie year.
Absolutely.
And I think Dak has more pieces around him than Russell Wilson did his senior year. Now, Russell Wilson went strictly off that defense and how great that defense was.
Yes.
That averaged, 13.7 points per game, I believe?
Yeah, and that's the problem with Dallas because, half their starting lineup is suspended.
Check. Could be wrong on that. Pretty tight if I'm right. 13.7 points per game.
That would be pretty awesome with the decimal point there.
Find that out during the break.
Awesome.
Find that out because I think I nailed it on the head.
All right. Folks, a couple other things going on later on in the program. We are going to talk about the Major League Baseball playoff race. It is getting down to the nitty-gritty, and we will talk with Joe Hunk of Jock's Primetime down there a little bit south of us, WJOX out of Birmingham. We're going to just talk about the rest of the baseball season and a couple of the end-of-the-year awards, who should get MVP, Rookie of the Year, so make sure you stick around for that. That'll be at 8:30 when we talk with Joe Hunk. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Thursday slate because, like you said, that can't be the first game, right? So we got a couple of other games to whet your appetite right off the bat. Got Appalachian State going to Tennessee. Tennessee favored by almost 3 touchdowns. Now, I just feel like it's going to be a little bit closer than that.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. Tennessee is great, but Appalachian State is no walk in the park. They will play up to the level of their competition. And just last year, their first year in the Sun Belt, won 10 games.
I do think it'll be a close game for the first 2.5, 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Appalachian State does have the talent, does have the depth to hang in there for Tennessee for a quarter or two, but I think in the long run, Tennessee's going to pull this one out.
Yeah.
Probably win by, I'd say, 17 to 21 points.
They should, right?
It's an interesting name, though, because you hear us talk up Tennessee all summer long. Now we get to finally look at them. Now we get to see, are they what we thought they were?
Yeah, and we're going to find out pretty dang quick with a lot of these teams. A lot of great matchups. We're going to find out who's for real and who's not very quickly. Might play a little game of pretender-contender later on.
They were who we thought they were.
Yes, exactly. So, all right, a couple of other games. I'm going to personally be in Nashville on Thursday night to watch Vanderbilt and South Carolina kick off the SEC regular season. Two programs. Maybe going in opposite directions to start off at least. I know last week we agreed that Vanderbilt will probably move up into the middle of the pack in the SEC East at least, while Muschamp may still have a few growing pains to experience in South Carolina. Not a whole ton of offensive talent there, even though he's already bringing in top-notch defensive talent, already brought in the number 4 cornerback in the country. So wherever he goes, wherever Tavares Robinson goes, it's obvious they're going to have the defensive firepower to keep them in games. But can they win? I don't know. I think Vanderbilt gets that first win at home, though.
I believe Vanderbilt gets the first one at home, but, ooh, man, that's a hard game to pick.
It is a very tough game.
Now, who is South Carolina going to go at quarterback? Are they going to go with the freshman Bentley? From Auburn,
I have to think it's
from Opelika, Alabama. Should be a senior in high school. Should be playing high school football right now.
That's amazing.
And he's in the running.
He was able to do that.
And you know what? I'd go ahead and throw him out there. If you're Muschamp, what do you have to lose? Go ahead and start your program off.
And get some stability in the coming years. Yeah, I can see that. Obviously, Kirby Smart did a very similar thing this week. He will start Jacob Eason as their number 1 quarterback. He's a true freshman, came in the spring, impressed in the spring game. I will say he threw some really nice balls, but a great percentage of his throws were very quick throws to get him confidence. And I've said it, and we said it last week, we weren't sure who the guy was going to be. Will it be Grayson Lambert, or would he just start over fresh with Eason? And now that he has gone to Eason, I'm thinking maybe a couple of those wins that I thought they might get last week kind of turn into losses now, because I don't care how good you are. This is the SEC, and you're going to go through some growing pains. I would harken back to Matthew Stafford's first year. I believe they only won 8 games. Still beat Auburn, but only won 8 games. So it seems
Isn't that what Georgia does, though? They have a freshman quarterback comes in.
Yeah.
Auburn's supposed to win, and this freshman just blooms.
Yeah, he blooms.
Matthew Stafford.
Because Auburn always gets Georgia in middle of November.
Matthew Stafford and David Green. As freshmen, just bloomed against Auburn.
And crushed them.
I remember standing in the rain working with ESPN, standing in the rain in like 40-degree weather. Auburn's supposed to crush Georgia, and here I am holding cable, freezing my butt off as Matthew Stafford is just slinging the ball all over the
and
field.
running everywhere too. He was
Oh my
out
gosh.
running everyone. That was a very frustrating.
Georgia always has quarterbacks. I think that's the smartest move by Kirby Smart. What do you have to lose in your first year? Nothing. Let's go ahead and get it started with the freshmen. Let's go ahead and start building this. Let's win a national championship in 3 to 4 years with them.
Yeah, and everybody stick around. We'll also be talking about the Alabama and Auburn quarterback situations. Auburn has picked their man. Alabama, not quite sure yet. So we'll have snippets from both Gus Malzahn and Nick Saban's press conferences a little bit later on. Kansas and Stanford are the nightcap on a Friday night, bridging the Thursday-Saturday gap. Kansas State going to Stanford. I mean, it's the best game of the night, but I mean, Stanford's going to wipe the floor with them, aren't they?
Yes.
I think they're just going to blow them out, and I think they're really there's going to be a concentrated effort, I believe, to get Christian McCaffrey the ball and to make sure that he is in prime time this year and that he gets his full exposure, because there are a lot of people that think that he should have been the Heisman last year. I mean, just put up ridiculous numbers. But when you're Derrick Henry and you're playing on Alabama, you're going to get a lot of national attention, a lot of primetime TV spots, period. And everyone's going to be watching. Mm-hmm. They'll be watching this year as Alabama replaces another cavalcade of NFL talent. I mean, it's truly incredible every year. But that very first matchup, USC-Alabama, to me, it's going to be a very low-scoring game if Alabama still doesn't know who they've got. And if they do play 2 guys during the game, who knows what could happen. USC always has talent, and they definitely have defensive talent. And we know that they have guys on offense who are very good in theory. But we need to see them against top-notch competition. We'll see that here in a little bit right now. But Alabama's favored by 11 points. I mean, it's almost like there's this massive amount of faith being put in them off top and against a top 20 team. I feel like that game could be a little bit closer than people are predicting.
I think it's going to be a lot closer than people predict. Just a couple little snippets for you, though. In dome openers, what do you think Nick Saban's record is?
At Alabama.
At Alabama, under Nick Saban, Alabama dome openers, what is it?
Dome opener. I'd say 4-0.
6-0.
Man.
It owns a 213-98 scoring advantage over those opponents.
Wow.
Overall, what is Alabama's record inside a dome?
Got to think like maybe 14-2.
21-7-1, 741
Man,
winning
that's
percentage.
a lot more games than I thought.
Including a 12-2 mark since 2009.
Oh, got that 12-2, baby.
12-2 mark since 2009. Now, Nick Saban.
I'll take that.
Nick Saban is not undefeated in a dome,
Right.
just in dome openers. And they lost to Ohio State, and they've lost to who else?
Ohio State.
Twice.
Well, that
Utah.
yes, Utah and Oklahoma.
One of those was not in a dome.
What the Sugar Bowl for sure was. They lost the Sugar Bowl against Oklahoma. So I know for sure that's.
They're 12-2 marks since 2009 and 13-4 in Nick Saban's tenure. So if they're 12-2 in a dome, there's only 2 losses in a dome. What game was not in a dome?
Yeah, who knows?
Was it Ohio State? Utah was in a dome.
All right. Yeah, Utah was what, 2008?
No, 2009.
Was it 2000? Well, yeah, I guess technically, yeah. After the new year, it would have been 2009.
Yeah, but it would have been 2008 season. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, they definitely lost that one, and that I believe was the Sugar Bowl as well, which means it had to be in New Orleans, right? Who knows?
But he's
All
also
right.
lost to Florida in the SEC championship.
That's true. That's true. There's a lot of dome games. I didn't realize there were that many. All right, we got to take a short break, everybody. When we come back, we're going to talk Auburn and Alabama quarterback situations and see who's going to take that first snap in week 1. It's going to be a great, great week. Everybody stick around. More on the sidelines in just a moment.
Head to Carl Cannon. Their dream team makes it real easy to do business.
This is Tyler Herron at Carl Cannon Chevrolet, Buick, Cadillac, and GMC. Did you see behind me? I got one of our Z71 Chevrolet Silverados. We have many like it. This is actually a Tuscany truck. It has a lift kit and the aftermarket wheels and tires. We are a Tuscany dealer. Come down and see us in Jasper, Alabama, and Carl Cannon Boulevard off exit 65, or you can give us a call at 205-384-5561.
Other dealers can't? Cannon can.
Carl Cannon, Chevy Buick GMC Cadillac in Jasper.
Every day, students at Bevel State Community College tell their own stories. They tell them through the accomplishments they achieve, the choices they make for career success, and through recommendations they share with friends. With 5 locations serving 7 counties and tuition lower than other colleges, now is the time to start writing your own success story. Your story starts at Bevel State.
Ready to Work Trucks in Summerton is just that. The place to go from anywhere in the country to find good used trucks for any need. Brian and Robert Harlan and their staff will assist you with financing and delivery. Brian is a 3-time National Truck Salesman of the Year and a 5-time Kenworth Walk-Around Champion with 30 years experience. Ready to Work Trucks, more than just a slogan, a business guarantee.
When you buy a truck from Ready to Work Trucks, everything works. All lights, all gauges, all switches, brakes are good. You can go anywhere in the country or on the internet and you can buy you a used truck and it's ready for you to go home and work on it. Or you can come to Ready to Work Trucks, where everything on our trucks work. And the horn blows, the brakes work, the tires are good, the kingpins are good. Hey, come visit us on Old 78 Highway in Summerton, Alabama, small town, big business. Come see us. We'll see that Ready to Work Trucks is more than our slogan, it's our business guarantee.
Hey everybody, welcome back to On the Sidelines. I'm Seth Hagan, Hunter Price to my left. We are talking the very first week of college football, but we want to take this segment right here to focus in on the in-state programs, if you will. By the way, really, really cool to see as we were leaving Birmingham, UAB playing their green and gold game. It is basically signifying that they are back. The Blazers are back, and the football program is in good standing. They've got pretty much a full roster right now. They could play tomorrow if they really needed to, but really cool to see that and that.
And there was a crowd.
Oh yeah, people were there, and it was a big deal. So really cool to see that, and that Birmingham's getting its team back. Let's take a look at the quarterback situations. Auburn's quarterback race has ended. They have picked Sean White, and we'll get to that video in a second. But I want to go and talk about the thing that's not really settled right now, the Alabama quarterback race. We've got Nick Saban's press conference here today, where he talked about the QB situation and what all guys are still in this thing. For a while, it was thought that Jalen Hurts, the freshman, was really making moves, and then people kind of threw that back down, said Cooper Bateman and some other guys were still ahead of him. So let's take a look at what Nick Saban had to say today about his quarterbacks.
From a quarterback standpoint, which I know this is the first question you're going to ask, we're sort of down to 2 guys here. Quarterback standpoint, which I know this is the
It is playing, but the video isn't. Well, it looks like we've got the audio from Nick Saban. Let's just go ahead and play the audio, Richard, and let's just listen in to what Nick Saban has to say.
2 guys here. Cooper Bateman and Blake Barnett are probably the 2 guys that we're getting ready to play in this game. And that's the way it's going to be for right now. We're going to try to continue to develop all of our guys. And when we make this choice, we make this decision, it's with what's going to give us the best chance to win this game, but it's also, about future development of our players. And we want to play the guy that's the most ready to give us the best chance, but we also want to continue to develop guys that can compete at this position in the future, and that's kind of where it is right now.
All right, so that was Nick Saban talking about his QB race, and I guess after all, the freshman has not made so many big strides. There was a couple last few days with the I guess the scrimmages and whatnot happening all over there at Alabama. Looks like it looked like for a little bit that Jalen Hurts was making some moves, but now we find out that it is in fact Cooper Bateman. He'll probably take that first snap, I would think, and then Blake Barnett after that. I have to think that this really comes down to trying to keep Blake Barnett in the fold, because if Jalen Hurts were to surpass him on the depth chart, I think he'd be gone quickly. I mean, we're talking about the guy who I think he was either the number 1 or number 2 quarterback in his class.
Yes. I don't know if he'd be gone. I mean, I think a lot of people are jumping the gun on that, just assuming he would leave.
He's a highly touted guy. He could go start in a lot of places.
He could go start a lot of places, but a lot of highly touted guys like to fight.
Some, yeah. I mean, no doubt.
I mean,
Jeremy Johnson's sticking with Auburn. He's not going anywhere.
Jeremy Johnson told his family he was going to graduate from Auburn, and Jeremy Johnson's going to do that.
But Blake Barnett still has a couple of years, so.
He does a couple of years, but he probably would transfer. Not saying he wouldn't, but just to throw out, he's gone if he doesn't win the job.
Well, not if he doesn't win the job, if he gets passed up by Hurts. Because if Hurts comes in and he's a freshman, then how in the world is Barnett going to pass him? He's there's no way. He'd be done. So you got to, if you're a guy, if a 5-star guy who was supposed to go to the NFL, you got to go somewhere where they're going to let you get some snaps and show the NFL what you're about. Otherwise, you might as well get rid of that NFL dream. It's over. So Cooper Bateman, the older guy, not necessarily has the arm that Barnett has and not the mobility that Hurts has, but described by Nick Saban as a guy who manages the game well, very familiar language from Nick Saban. So he's basically the guy that they trust the most and has been in the system the most. That's how he described the running back lineup. Scarborough and Damian Harris are guys that have been with the program the longest, and so they're the ones who are going to get the first crack at it. I got to think in that case that Cooper Bateman is the guy that's going to go out there first against USC.
I do believe Cooper Bateman is going to be the guy to go out there. I think we will see both quarterbacks against USC.
Oh, for sure.
And I think USC also is going to be playing both quarterbacks.
Oh, word. Cool. Well, hey, we might have a call. Not anymore.
No, we don't.
For a second there, we did. It's
if you want to call in, 888-242-8517. We'll get back to what I was talking about with Alabama and USC. You're going to see 2 quarterbacks play on Saturday night. Yeah. You're going to see Cooper Bateman. You're going to see Blake Barnett. With USC, you're going to see Max Brown, and you're going to see Sam Donald. Max Brown, he's a guy that's just like Bateman, not going to do anything flashy, not going to turn the ball over.
And yet was very highly touted, just like Bateman was.
Very highly touted, just like Bateman was. He's just not going to mess things up. Right. Just like Bateman's not going to mess things up. Sam Donald, he's your guy when you need 1 yard, you got a 4th and 1, you're bringing in Sam Donald. He's like 6'4", 225, 6'5", 225. Real strong guy, great runner. Just like Barnett, can scramble, can move, has a strong arm. But they're not ready to take over the team yet.
All right.
I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Sam Donald and Blake Barnett starting as the quarterback for Alabama midway through the season.
Okay, so they might end up overtaking their older teammates. Well, that makes sense. Let me think. I have to think that Alabama wins this game, but we both think it'll be a little bit closer than most people predict.
I think it'll be a lot closer, and people are forgetting.
I'm thinking like 27-21.
There's 19.
Something like that.
There's 19 guys on this team that played for Lane Kiffin at USC.
Wow, that's interesting. That is interesting.
You don't think they want to come out there?
Yeah, and beat their old coach.
And beat their old coach that they left at the airport?
Yeah. But that goes both ways, my friend. That goes both ways. You got to think that Lane Kiffin also wants to just really serve USC a nice piping hot bowl of revenge.
Guess who else is a coach? Guess who else is a coach at USC?
T. Martin?
Other than T. Martin. His old team is playing right now in Birmingham.
Oh, McGahee?
Neil Callaway.
No way.
Yep.
Neil Callaway is.
Neil Callaway.
No way.
Yes.
He's on USC's team.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he
Okay,
is.
Neil.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of history with these two teams. You know, the USC-Alabama game, when it came in, that was when Bear Bryant decided, hey, we're going to go play USC. That was almost what really – and USC just hounded Alabama, crushed them.
Yeah.
And it was USC had black athletes, Alabama did not. And that was where Bear Bryant was like, it's time for this to change. There's no more of this in this state.
Yeah.
We're not going to
Because
have
we're
this
going to
anymore.
get bulldozed if we don't change with the times. That's the
Exactly.
sign of a great coach is making changes when they need to be made.
But the thing is he scheduled that game knowing that would happen, I believe.
That's true. That's true.
He wanted to show Alabama,
Right.
the state, how behind the times they were.
Right. Okay. Well,